Does money buy happiness? Isn't that the question we hear? Does money buy happiness? Well, I'm gonna answer that long, age-old question today. Hi, I'm Robert Wise, your Wise Way coach. You are watching the Wise Way to Success podcast, and I am here to answer that question, does money buy happiness? Now, I wanna answer that question right away. The answer is no. But I actually was one of those people that kind of believed, I have to admit, that money, of course, buys happiness. But as I learned about anxiety, depression, fears, and self-esteem, self-worth, I also learned that the link between money and happiness does not exist. And I'm gonna tell you how I know this for sure. So I always believed that if you have money, you must be happy, right? I mean, come on, you have money. What's there not to be happy about? But actually, believe it or not, having money is not linked to self-worth, self-esteem, self-love, not linked to any of those things. And actually, I know that for a fact because since opening up my anxiety and depression clinic, I have worked with people who have had lots of money. And they came to me with anxiety and depression and insecurities and self-esteem issues. And they had all the money in the world. So actually, money doesn't buy happiness. In some cases, it actually could take away your happiness and take away your peace. I think we put such a value, no pun intended, on money that we need to have money to be happy, but actually we don't. It's not even linked to happiness. So here is an interesting scenario that happened to me. One of my clients actually asked me, he's like, Rob, do you think there's such thing as having too much money? Of course, I looked at him for a minute and thought, okay, it's gotta be a trick question. I'm gonna say no. I don't think you could have too much money. And he's like, Rob, I actually have had too much money. And having too much money is also a problem. You don't feel good because you feel that people are only talking to you or nice to you because you have money. Once you buy all these nice things, you're like, okay, so now what? People who you trust now all of a sudden, you don't know where they really stand because you have all this money. He's like, money actually made me more unhappy. I actually preferred having less money. I thought it was strange, but it kind of makes sense because he said something that was really true. Once you buy that fancy car, you go on, that fancy vacation, you buy that fancy house, then what would you do? You would, live your life? So can't you do that now? Do you really need money to be able to live the life that you want? So we link money to, well, if I have money, I could do this, this, and this, and this. But can't you really do a lot of these things without the money that you think you need to be able to do these things? We put such an emphasis and importance on money that we actually act as though we need this to do this, but actually you don't. It's a falsity. He even made a great point. Rob, after I bought all these expensive items, I was still able to do things that anybody could do, like watch the hockey game, take a walk or a stroll, buy myself a nice latte or a coffee. It doesn't depend on money, and also money doesn't build connections. That doesn't build self-worth and self-esteem. So here is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you today to ask yourself, maybe make a list. What would I need all this money for? And would it really make me any more happy if I had money? Or would it actually add maybe even to my anxiety? Maybe if I had money, I'd feel like I should be doing this, this, and this. The most important thing you can take from this video is that money does not buy happiness. Money is not linked to happiness. And actually, your self-worth, your self-esteem, and things that you can do are not necessarily linked to how much money you have. Look around right now at everything you have and ask yourself, do I really need more money to appreciate what I have? Do I really need more money to be able to do what I really want? And do I really need that much more money to be able to do it? How many times have you heard, well, if I had $1 million, but do you really need $1 million to do what you want? Do you really need $1 million to build that connection that you would like to have? So I want you to take in the fact that you do not need money to be happy, that money is not linked at all to self-esteem, to self-worth. Money is not linked to happiness. I have met many, many, many wealthy people who have struggled with anxiety, depression, extreme low self-esteem, addiction, and they had tons of money. So money is not linked to peace of mind. It's not linked to feeling like you've accomplished anything. So maybe the most valuable lesson that you can learn is being happy with yourself regardless of how much money you have is the most valuable thing, an asset you could have, is loving, appreciating, respecting, and honoring yourself the way you are, who you are, regardless of how much money you have. So once again, to answer that question, does money buy happiness? No. Is money something that you need to be happy? No. Does money help with things? Yes. Is money nice to buy fancy stuff? Absolutely. But do you need it to be happy? Absolutely not. I'm Robert Wise, your Wise Way coach. I am here to tell you, live your best life. Regardless of how much money you have, you are worthy to be happy. And you need to have peace of mind regardless of whatever money you make. If this video was helpful, please share it, subscribe. I'm here to help. I'm on a mission to help people live their best life. So are you ready to live your best life? Let's do this the Wise Way.